Spinning a card with one hand with the deck looks difficult here. It seems difficult. It's not as difficult as you might think. And that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be showing you how you can do this knacky little thing that is easier than it looks. What's going on, guys? My name is DanielHuckins. I'm a magician. I'm a cardist. I teach magic and cardistry. I do deck reviews. I collect playing cards. And if you guys like that stuff and enjoy watching it, enjoy learning stuff, then you might want to stick around. So today we are going to be learning how to spin a playing card on top of the deck with one hand. So I'm going to shut up now. We're going to be done talking. We're going to get into the tutorial. Alright, so that is what it looks like, and we're going to show you guys how to do it. There is a couple tips and tricks to help you. This won't be a terribly long tutorial because, again, it is fairly easy. It's just a little knacky move to do. So what you want to do is you want to grab a smooth deck of cards. You don't want one that clumps up. The newer the better for this because it does require smooth cards to work. So any like bicycle deck, just make sure it's not too used up, you know? So what you're going to do is you're going to grab the card that you want to spin at the top, and what helps is if you spring the cards a bit. Riffle, shuffle them, spring them. Just make sure they're like slightly bent, just a little bent, so that when you take one of the cards and you go to spin it, that it's bent the opposite way. So I just sprung the cards like this, right? So they're bent a little bit this way. And if I take this card, it's now bent in the opposite direction. So now it's easier to spin because it has that tiny little gap right there. Obviously, if they're both bent and beveled in the same direction, it won't spin. But if you take that card, it'll spin a little bit. So take your card that you want, you spring the cards or don't, but you do need to just give it a slight bend. You know, give it a little bend. You can also take the deck and give it a little bend as well. Make sure it's the opposite way you're bending the cards. So now you can see that little gap there. That's what you want because you're going to spin it and it's going to rely on this small amount of surface area where these two parts of the cards are touching. But because they're beveled in different directions and bent in different directions, then it has more area to not touch the cards and therefore spin. It's kind of like if you know how to spin a playing card on your finger, right? It's not going to spin if you have multiple fingers on it, obviously, because it has one point that it is touching and rotating on, just like the deck. So you bend this, and you bend this, and now it has that one point that it can spin a bit easier. So now what you're going to do once you bent the two cards and you place it on top, it's all wrist motion from here. Nothing else. Said you do want a slippery deck. I might be correcting myself, but not too slippery. As I know I said like brand new is better, but slightly used because these cards here are gonna fan out or spin as well because it is a slippery new deck. You don't want that as much. So what you're trying to do is spin the card, but also make sure these cards don't go out of place. Those are the tips. So number one, slippery-ish deck. You want it somewhat broken in. Brand new is a bit much, but you don't want a poop deck. So number two is you spring the cards, or you just take one card and bevel it the opposite way. Just give it a slight bend. And then wrist motion. And those are the three tips to make sure that you can spin a card one-handed on top of the deck. I think that's about it. Yeah. That about sums it up. That's how you do it. That's how you spin a card on top of the deck. It's pretty cool, it's pretty knacky, it's really fun in my opinion, and just a fun little thing to do. Impress your friends, add it into your magic routines, whatever you'd like to do with it. You can actually use it as well doing a double lift. So if you know what a double lift is, you can spin two cards. If you get good at it and they stick together, it looks really cool. If you guys want to watch more of this stuff, more of my stuff, hit the subscribe button and the bell to get notified of my weekly videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video. See ya.